Xbox Record This is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, Daddy Diwali, Chipotle Bear, and Bubble Boy and Seven. This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello, Daddy Diwali here, and welcome to Xbox Record This, episode 66. We're coming in hot. We got a lot to cover this week. We've got some ground to make up from some hot topics from last week and some hot takes and some hot news. So joining me as always is the assistant to the co-host, Chipotle Bear. How are you, my friend?
I am doing excellent, man. So I didn't tell either of you this on the chat, but I have a brand new monitor in front of me, and I think it's my winner. Like, I'm gonna sell my other two that I've been going through. It's not a monitor; it's a 43-inch TV.
Oh,
And here's the thing. Here's why.
I tried it, Jose. I'm just gonna warn you now. It's too big. That's what she said. I'm sorry. I did the same thing, Jose. I gotta interrupt you.
No, it's perfect for me right now.
Too big.
It's perfect. Here's why. Because I went to visit Chance not too long ago, and I saw he picked up that 50-inch, 60-inch Chance, the Hisense. How big is it? All right.
It's a 65. Sorry.
It's a 65. And I was really impressed with the picture. And here's the problem. Where I am at in my house, no one knows this because you're not in my house. I'm in my bar, and we use my bar as a rec room. Like, literally what I'm sitting on is a game table where we play like games and stuff. And the problem was setting it up and taking it down was always a big to-do. So here's the cool part. I got a wall mount that literally comes out so far from the wall that it turns literally 90 degrees to me. And when I'm done, I can just literally push it all the way back, and I have a TV in my bar now. So I am pumped. I feel great. My stream is coming in nice, maybe not perfect, but nice. And yeah, man, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Did you complain to Comcast about those upload speeds? You never made it, did you?
I never made it. Dude, work. I got, like, at the end of the day, I'm not
Call him
you
up.
gotta go yell.
Jose, how far away from you are the monitor? I'm about my arm's length, and I've got pretty long arms here. So I mean,
like this, straight out
could work.
I still got a good 6 inches.
Okay, good. I was gonna say it could work if I could push the TV back, which I thought about doing was mounting it on the wall. But then you got to do that. But anyway, for your situation,
if you need a mount, I have an extra one, a real slim one. You can have it.
If you saw my situation, you'd see that I've got a window right in front of me, so I can just put it in that window well if I really wanted to. But even then, like gaming, it's just 32 to me is the sweet spot for the monitor. 43, I tried, I really did, and maybe
it's a 10-4. I'll keep you updated if it gets worse, but I'm really happy with it. Oh yeah, 4K Android TV, like, it's great, man.
That's the one I actually had first. It was the R646 or something like that. That was a great one. Yeah, good pick. And joining us as making his grand return after getting caught up in some hot caca diarrhea last week is Bubble Boy and Seven, the assistant to the co-host. He's got a grand reveal, so let's see it. Bubble. Let me guess. Wait, I already know what it is. It's something about getting all the achievements in Forza Horizon 5.
Oh, no, God, yeah. I'm not rubbing anything in. I did hang that T-shirt right here.
Yeah, see, I knew
that's not what this is. No, that's not what this is. I do want you guys to guess though. So Ashley's like, yeah, we gotta, make some probably financial changes. Not that anything's wrong, but like, it's just smart of us to.
Oh,
and I was like, yeah, I could probably stop buying toys, like little children's toys. That would probably be for the best. I was like, unless there's something that like crosses lots of like boundaries, right? Not boundaries like in a bad way, but something that I can use for my backdrop in XRT, something that's like nerdy but also really cool.
Okay. Mega Constructs
toy.
Is it the Millennium Falcon warp speed wallpaper?
Oh, I wish, Japone. No.
Is it Lego or Mega Constructs related?
It is very much Lego related.
Oh, it was it's the Seinfeld set. The Seinfeld, the stage.
Okay, so that's Daniel's guess. Chapo, what's your guess? Right.
I'm gonna go with like the Halo energy sword out of Mega Constructs box.
Wrong already, because he said it was Lego related. Let's see it, boy. Show me the Seinfeld set, you son of a gun. I'm pissed.
Check it out. It's BD1, baby, from Star Wars Fallen Order.
That's actually
I am so pumped about this Lego. It is so cool. It took over actually the spot that the mini fridge used to have because I'm pretty upset with that mini fridge. But
Mine's all right.
BD1 will be looking down on us from now on after all these things. I've had the Seinfeld one for a while. So,
Well, is it
um,
up there? Why isn't it not there?
the Xbox.
Blasphemy. No, the Seinfeld. Get that up there. That
Oh,
needs
it
to be in
doesn't
the
fit.
center.
It's
too
pretty big, right?
Yeah, put it on top. Put it on
You
top.
know what though? Yeah, I probably ought
And you
to
can put
move
BB-8 in one of
the
those
tumblers.
boxes. Yeah.
BB-8's big, man. I don't think.
Well, the antenna.
Is it
Yeah,
life
I guess-
size? Like, is it accurate to scale size?
Wait, that's
I
not
don't know,
BB-8
dude.
or whatever his name is. Sorry.
BD1. That's what I meant. BD1.
BD1, not BB-8.
It says height 0.43 meters. So
Great. You
I don't
dang
know. It's like a foot tall.
English.
It's pretty
Metric
big.
system,
I
or
was
Dutch.
I was
What
really
is it?
excited.
Denmark? Those damn Lego
Oh,
minions.
yeah, Dutch. It's Dutch.
Lego is British.
Yeah. No,
it's not. It's Dutch.
Yeah, it is.
Look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Wait, see,
Anyway.
there's something hanging out there. Yeah, he's got the chicken dinner, of course. He's going to have the Forza Horizon in the background. Congratulations. Shout out to Bubble Boy. He has every achievement
Can you
in
believe
Forza
it?
Horizon 5. He is the 1,201st person in the world to complete it. Impressive. He's
Yeah.
going to have to keep it up. Think as soon as that next DLC comes out, you could be the first person.
I know,
in the world
that's
to
what
really
I was-
complete it.
I was
so
like,
you really
hey,
got to
that-
stay on top of it.
Exactly. Like the second it comes out, like
I blew
sorry,
it, you
Principal
guys.
Fisk. I gotta take off work.
I blew it. I had the chance to be the first in the world with Super Barrels of Baking, and
Yeah,
I
but there'll be other
I
indies, dude. You
totally
just got to
could have done
find
that.
something similar. You'll be all right.
Anyway, let's jump into shout outs, you guys. Let's keep this show flowing like Flomax helps us all go to the bathroom. Shout out to X Bacon Gaming on YouTube. Bacon, we got to work on your comments. I am current on the Walking Dead. I am up to date on the Walking Dead. I'm currently up to date on the Walking Dead. It's time for it to be over. Breaking news, my third Elite Series 2 controller has failed. I'm going to have to cash in my rewards points for a new one. Well, lucky for you, Bacon, you've got all those points saved up. You're just like Snowbike Mike. You know Snowbike Mike over in the Kind of Funny Xcast? Apparently he goes through Elite controllers. He's gone through like 4 of them too. What do you guys do?
How does that happen?
How does that
I
happen?
don't know
What are you
either.
doing
Like
with
I play a lot of games and
Bruh.
mine are still. My Elite Series 1 is still working. It just doesn't
Me
connect
too.
like wirelessly. Like wired in, it's perfect. Like I
Oh,
don't.
mine connects wirelessly fine.
So Bacon, and shout out to Snowbike Mike. I don't know what's going on over there with those man hands over there. You need to take it easy while gaming. So shout out to X Bacon Gaming. Also, we got to give a huge XRT shout out to Matthew Kennedy over on Twitter. Jose, did you see what he just recently tweeted at us? I don't know if you caught this. It just
don't know.
happened.
I watched him stream a little bit the other day on Twitch. He's a good streamer to watch. I watch you too, for the record. I watch D-Wally streams all the time. Don't worry.
He doesn't watch me.
But,
He only watches Matthew Kennedy. But he said, thanks at Xbox Record this for the suggestion. Next game I'll be streaming is at Sunset Overdrive by Insomniac Games. Such a huge fan of these devs. Can't wait to play this Xbox exclusive that I missed. And I replied, so excited for you. Probably the best X1 exclusive. The game excels at traversal, combat, humor, and just having its own unique style and personality. Come on the show for a review once you finish it. So shout out to Matthew Kennedy. Seriously, come on the show. And you and Nakachaka from PS Trophy Room can come over here as PS fanboys and talk to us about Sunset Overdrive. By the way, anyone who's listening who has not played Sunset Overdrive, Claire, go play Sunset Overdrive. Bacon, I hope you've already played it. You should have. Everybody, Bizzle, go play Sunset Overdrive. What a fantastic game, right, Jose? All right. Oh my God, you haven't played it, have you? Chance has. Jose,
Oh
have you
yeah,
played
I
it?
love.
I
It's
have-
hard.
I've
And I
played
don't
it.
know if
Oh.
I can call it underrated because I think it was pretty well received by reviewers.
Well
and stuff,
received, but not
underrated.
I think it was
in
underrated for
terms
sure.
of like people still giving it credit today, and like it definitely doesn't hit some of those like top 10 lists like it should. So
Yeah, no, absolutely one of the best Xbox games in general. Yeah, for sure, exclusive wise. So that one hurt when Insomniac went away, and we're not going to see that again. But thankfully for us, we're probably all going to have PS5s to play it. So let's jump into, man, we've been planning this for years now. The warm up opener for the week. Chance, take it away.
Do you want to know the exact date? Because I had it on my
The
in
exact
my
date.
notes.
Oh yeah, tell me when we
of when
first
we
planned it.
originally
Let me
planned
guess.
it.
Let me guess.
Okay.
June
Ooh.
12th week.
I think it was like March.
November
last year.
18th. November 18th.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
so I was
so
closer.
it was a minute ago.
I said
And I want to
2021.
say it was right after Shang-Chi came out on Disney Plus for the
Correct. That is
MCU,
correct. I should have.
because that had a fantastic fight scene. We're like, oh my god, well, we got to do top 5 fight scenes. Obviously, of course. So let's start with me. How about,
No.
I guess
Let's start with
let's
Jose,
not
because I know.
start with me. Let's start
Let's
with
start with
Jose.
Jose. We know Jose is not he doesn't care about fight scenes.
What?
And
Why?
action. He's all about
Why would I?
rom-coms and horror. So Jose, take it away. Let's hear your caca top
Rom-coms and horror,
list
those are
of
literally
fight.
opposite ends of the spectrum, but
And you love them both?
I do love both, but I also love fight scenes as well. So real quick, a couple just very fast honorable mentions, because God, this was an excellent opener. There are so many great fight scenes. Raiders of the Lost Ark, when he's fighting the guy that gets chopped up by the plane propeller, amazing fight scene. Aliens, where she fights the queen, Ripley fights the queen in the exosuit, excellent fight scene. Snatch, when Brad Pitt's character Mickey knocks out the dude in one hit, just mind-blowing at the time. Basically all of John Wick 1, 2, and 3 entirely, the whole show is basically the best fight scene. And then this one's just for my horror fans out there, the Freddy versus Jason fight scene. Was it ridiculous and stupid and hilarious? Yes, but it's iconic. Everybody wanted to see that. We argued about it for decades before it happened. But my top 5, my number 5, Chance actually mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I put the Shang-Chi, sorry, bus fight scene, because it was awesome. It was amazing. It was acted. It was hilarious. It was engaging. Awesome. That was my number 5. Number 4, a shout out to my host with the most, the bathroom brawl in Mission Impossible, the fight scene. Just even today, you go back and watch that fight scene and you're like, okay, that's pretty rad. I'm not going to lie. So I got to give that's my number 4. My number 3, I went with a very iconic one, the Karate Kid last fight scene, sweep the leg, Daniel LaRusso. Just literally, you want to talk about something that stands the test of time. That one gets hyped. You're the best, who's playing in the background. I love that one. Chance's face right now. Number 2, in Daredevil, the Netflix show, there's a hallway fight scene that I thought was super dope. That still stands out to me as one of the most awesome fight scenes, because he's blind. Spoiler if you didn't know that about Daredevil. And the fact, when he does it was early in the show, in the series. That was one of the first Marvel series on Netflix. Shout out to them for that. And my number 1, because I loved the show, I still love the show. I didn't love number 4 very much, but the Matrix lobby scene, that whole fight scene where they're fighting basically all of the Smiths going up the tower to save Morpheus, man, that is still an iconic scene, and it was so ahead of its time for the time. So that's my number 1 right there.
But boy, you want me to jump in, or do you want to close out this one or go next? What'd you say?
Have at it.
All right, so here's the definitive XRT/Daddy Duwally ranking of fight scenes in film. Well, I guess one of them was a TV show, but it doesn't matter. So like Jose said, I think you mentioned John Wick. I've only seen the first one, you guys. I couldn't keep up with it. But from what I remember, it's very, very good, very entertaining, very intense, a little brutal at times. I need to catch up. So that's why I could only put them on honorable mention. Also, I felt like the first Kingsman movie had some really cool fight scenes. And actually all of those movies have very unique ones, a little over the top, but very unique and stylistic. So Kingsman, shout out to Kingsman. Another honorable mention, Collateral. And this isn't even really a fight scene, but do you remember when Jamie Foxx is he's honking the horn, those guys come up and they take his suitcase, and then Tom Cruise comes out and he's like, yo, homie, is that my briefcase? He's like, oh, yeah, this is your people. Pop, pop, you want me to get you? And then he just just takes 4 shots, just twice on one guy, twice on the other, then he head top the other one. It was literally, if you watch that scene, it's like seconds. Is it a fight scene? I don't know, but it's a very cool gun scene. And then I said Indiana Jones, except I put the part where he just pulls the gun on the guy with the sword, or he does all that stuff, and he just pops him in the head. Classic.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And then Daredevil, I just literally wrote that, as you said, that very cool fight scenes. Except we did talk about how he just got his butt kicked way too much. He just
but that
got
was
a little
real.
out of control.
I like that was real, man. He didn't just come out of the gate amazing.
But here's the official list. Number 5. Any Jackie Chan, I put Jackie Chan movies. All of his movies were insane back in the day. I know they're old, but I have to give respect to the man who started it first with doing his own, well, I guess maybe Bruce Lee, but doing it in a more modern era that I watch, especially Rumble in the Bronx, that always stood out to me. So I put Jackie Chan. Just shout out to one of the goats. Number 4, similar to Jose, I had The Matrix. I couldn't pick a specific scene in The Matrix, but you got to go as a whole. Just very like a stylistic along there with Kingsman as well. Very cool. I remember that blowing our minds back in, what was that, 1999. So
99.
Shout out to
Freshman
The
year of high
Matrix.
school.
Yeah,
Man.
I remember watching that in Askin's basement. Shout out to Askin's basement. He had a big screen, but it was one of those like 500-pound TVs, down there. And that
It's
was
still there. They weren't able to get
ironically
it
that
out.
was the
It's too
first time
heavy.
I was making out with my girlfriend at the time. There's a shout out to Askin's basement. That was a great place. Number 3, Jason Bourne fight scenes. I couldn't quite pick a specific one because in general, all those fight scenes in the movies were so good, but Supremacy kept coming up in the list, specifically the one with like, I think there's a phone book or something. So shout out to Jason Bourne and Matt Damon. Number 2.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't remember what JR stands for, do you?
Oh, Jack Reacher. Sorry. The whole movie. So good. And specifically the 5 against 1.
So good.
Where
I
he's,
couldn't remember what JR
well,
stands for.
I kept thinking of Jason Robledo because we were just talking about high school. So anyway, Jack Reacher, the first movie. The second one is god awful. Haven't seen the Amazon TV show, but I hear it's good. Jack Reacher, where he's outside and the 5 guys are out there, and it's like, you guys really want to do this? And he's like, remember, you asked for this. And he's like, oh, you're going to beat us. It's 5-on-1. I'm like, he's like, 2 of you always run. It's 3-on-1. And then he just kicks in their butt. And I really liked about the fight scene is how he punched them in the balls and kicked them in the balls. He just showed no mercy, being like, you want to do this? We're going to do this. I don't care if it's dirty. Boom. And it just really messed him up. And then the bathroom scene. Oh, a serious fatality. And then number 1, Jose mentioned it, the bathroom scene in Mission Impossible Fallout. It is so iconic because it's 2-on-1, and you're thinking the Asian guy's just going to get his butt kicked with big Superman Henry Cavill there and Ethan Hunt to take him down. But that guy holds his own, and he's actually winning the entire time, and he's winning that fight. And if it wasn't for what's her face coming in and popping him, he probably would have got them all. But that iconic where Superman Henry Cavill does his little fist pump, and he somehow, if you watch that scene over, guys, you'll see his beard get like darker somehow. It's like it's this funny thing where he shuffles his arm and he grows a beard randomly. It's a weird thing with the lighting, but shout out to Mission Impossible Fallout. But I can name a bunch of fight scenes in those movies, but to me, that will always stand out. Fallout, one of the greatest action movies ever made, probably second now to Top Gun Maverick, the greatest movie ever made. So Bubble Boy, let's hear your list.
Let's hear the definitive list here.
Yeah, this was really hard, and
Yeah.
I looked at so many things, and I was like, where do I even start? How do I do an honorable mention? How do I rank these? And so this is probably not even close to a definitive list. You guys are gonna laugh at a lot of these, but like they were just so memorable to me. I think every one of you mentioned, I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them that both of you mentioned. I was like, how did I forget that one? Oh, how did I forget the Jack Reacher? How did I forget the briefcase and Collateral? But for my honorable mentions, I did have John Wick, and I just put John Wick. I didn't know what else to write because I was like, I started to try and look into him a little bit. I was like, yeah, that's going nowhere. And then the Kingsman, I was like, yeah, I'm not really entirely sure, but all that stuff from the Kingsman. I had the Bourne Identity, the book and the pen fight here for honorable mention. So I don't think that's the one you're talking about, the phone book, Dan, or was it?
I don't know.
It was on the first one. I just remember that.
They're both good.
And
all
then
of them are good.
You're going to be really upset, but honorable mention, Men's Room Brawl and Mission Impossible Fallout. I know. Because then here were the ones that I just like, man, I don't know that I will ever forget any of these. And it might sound kind of crazy, but that Shang-Chi bus fight, really, I just can remember so much of it. And I think because I didn't see it coming. I had no idea. It wasn't, I guess, not really a spoiler, but it hadn't been spoiled for me. Nobody was like, wait till you see the bus scene or anything.
Or in a trailer or anything? You didn't see that? Like,
I don't remember any of it. And I just remember thinking like, wow, Marvel, because Marvel isn't necessarily known for all that kind of choreography as much as big explosions and big budgets and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool to see them mix it up. One that I don't think any of you guys had on there was Maximus versus Tigress in Gladiator, which is the one
I knew you were going to pick that one.
Oh, I had to have it's probably my favorite movie. Had to have a gladiator one on there, and I just love that one. That guy's such a burly man that he comes out to fight, and of course Maximus just wipes the floor with him. Jose, do you know? So that Daredevil one you mentioned, do you know what that was based off of? Because that's my number 3.
Yeah. Oh God, it's not IP Man.
You know it, yeah, I know
I
you
do know
know
it.
it.
I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, but it's Korean, right? Isn't it a Korean
Old
film?
Boy.
Old
Yep.
Boy.
Old Boy, which if you've never seen Old Boy, you're gonna need to not have to work the next day. It's kind of like having a hangover in terms of the
Emotion.
mind games, yes, and just the absolute emotion. I haven't watched it since being a father. I can't even
Oh
imagine.
God,
I
no,
know, right? Like
no.
I can't even begin to imagine what that would be like. I haven't seen the American version with God, what's his
Josh
name?
Brolin, right? Isn't he the
Yeah,
American version?
yeah, but I don't know if it's as good. I feel like though that movie you see it once and you don't need to see it again unless you just want to go back and watch this hallway fight scene.
Just watch it on
Because
YouTube, bud.
yeah,
Straight up,
yeah,
and ignore the movie.
that's as good as it gets. But if you haven't seen it, yeah, take some time, sit down, um, and let us know what you thought. Number 2, I had to put one of these on here. Apollo Creed versus Rocky Balboa, classic.
That's a
Just
classic.
absolutely love it. And it's just iconic, and it doesn't I don't know how many other boxing movies that are really good, even the Creed movies now, Million Dollar Baby, that it just that's where I mean, I guess you could say it started with like Raging Bull and stuff before that, but like Rocky is what really kind of catapulted those off. Number 1, and I know you might laugh, or you definitely neither of you had it, but again, it's so iconic to me, and something that I'll never forget. And I think a big part of it too has to do with the music that played during this fight scene, but that's the final fight between the two brothers in the movie Warrior, which is like an MMA mixed
Yeah.
martial arts movie, and just it was just so good, and the way what it meant to the story too, because some of these other ones, like you could take them out and the story probably really wasn't going to change. What that did for the end of that movie and the story was pretty epic. So that was my list. This one was hard. I can't remember having such a hard time. And even looking back at it since it was so long ago, I was like, how did I forget this one? How
Yeah.
did I forget that one? So
I'm
Yeah. If
sure
we
we're
forgot
forgetting
any,
some.
write it and tell us which
Yeah,
ones we forgot. We'd
please.
love to hear your guys'
I'm
audience
sure
out there.
Bacon will have some. And J Biz, send us some of your favorite fight scenes. Excellent topic, guys, for the warm up. But now let's jump into some Xbox and gaming news. Let's jump right into it with the big story that everybody's been talking about. Starting off from Andy Robinson over at VGC, Sony says it believes Xbox owning Call of Duty could influence users' console choice. Regulatory docs revealed the PlayStation firm's thoughts on Activision Blizzard acquisition. And this is coming from the official response to questions from the Brazil's regulatory body, like in many regions, is currently studying the proposed deal for approval. And I just wanted to read a couple of quotes from the article, you guys. In its questionnaire answers, Sony calls Call of Duty an essential game, a blockbuster AAA type game that has no rival. According to a 2019 study, the importance of Call of Duty to entertainment in general is indescribable, the company said. The brand was the only video game IP to break into the top 10 of all entertainment brands among fans, joining powerhouses such as Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Huh? Call of Duty is so popular that it influences users' choice of console, and its community of loyal users is entrenched enough that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it would not be able to rival it. So, guys, Chance, do you want to bring in your story that you
yeah,
want right here?
let me yeah, I'll read
Okay.
where that came from. And the article I found it on was from Kotaku, and
Yeah,
it's
because this
from
kind of brings the
Zach's Reason.
counterpoint
Yeah, well,
with
this is what
Microsoft.
this
Yeah.
was Sony. I think had that response because this is what Microsoft had originally said. Um, In the doc, Microsoft claimed that there is, quote, nothing unique about the video games developed and published by Activision, a company it's spending nearly $70 billion on. Further adding that none of the games, including military shooter franchise Call of Duty, are, quote, must-have games for any rival gaming company or distributor. It just blew my mind. I think we all know we're all Microsoft simps on this show. They are way off on this one. Way off. So what are your
Okay,
thoughts, Tripo?
so I got to interrupt. You think Microsoft is way off on saying it's not a must-have game, correct? You're saying
Absolutely.
okay. So
Yeah.
I'll set this up to Jose. So when I was listening to PS Trophy Room, they were saying it sounded like Sony was whining, but they're right. Like nothing can rival Call of Duty, which is true to an extent. Okay, I want to set that up. One, and then I listened to HP podcast, and they were saying how Microsoft is in the wrong as well. Like Chance is kind of saying like they're way off. I think there's truth to both sides. I think obviously these are both uh, the reaction and what each company has to say in order to get this deal done, right? Or argue against the deal in Sony's case. But I have to say that I kind of agree that I think Microsoft chance. I think Microsoft's right.
No, you don't. You're
Why?
being a
Wait, no,
simp. Stop. You
no. Listen to me.
don't.
Let me explain. First of all, do we know that Call of Duty is going to be a super mega hit for all of eternity? Why can't things change?
I
It is
mean,
not a
come
guarantee.
on.
It is not a guarantee that Call of Duty will be the
How
number
about
one
backlog?
shooter of
From
all.
that alone,
Just
it's a
let me
must-have.
finish. You cannot prove to anybody that Call of Duty will be as relevant as it is to last year or the last few years in the next 5 years. It's already on a decline. And not everybody has to buy Call of Duty. You do not have to buy it. Yes, it is extremely popular. And those numbers are very crazy that it's the top 10, whatever brands, whatever it is. But in addition to it, we don't know its future or if it will continue to be this mega hit, which again, totally not guaranteed. Video games change all the time. Nobody predicted Fortnite. Nobody predicted Halo still being around and Halo struggling. Battlefield, come on, like that used to be maybe a legitimate competitor. I don't know, but you cannot guarantee to me that Call of Duty will continue on this mega hit projection for all of time. Okay, it's not the MCU, and even the MCU might fail, but that's my first point. Secondly, these games are still coming out on other consoles. So it's not like you have to have an Xbox to get it, okay? And third, I don't understand how this is any different than PlayStation making God of War, making Spider-Man and keeping that as a console exclusive, and any of their other IP or third-party games that they keep exclusive. Why is this so different? Just because the numbers of Call of Duty, I feel like Sony is whining a little bit as well, like, and rightfully so. But at the same time, I liked what Joseph was saying on the podcast on PS Travel. Was like, "Hey, Sony, make something that can compete with it." When was the last time Sony made a first-person shooter, guys, that was relevant?
Killzone 3.
And you could even
SOCOM,
argue,
right? Did they have SOCOM too?
was that relevant? Okay, so PS3 era, right? Okay, sorry guys, you can't just rely
What
on
was the
Call of
one,
Duty
Jose,
and
that came out with the
Destiny.
PS3 with the aliens?
Mag.
Resistance was
Oh,
good.
Resistance was
God,
a good game.
wonderful game.
Yeah,
Bring that
Resistance was
back.
good.
make another Resistance, guys. But
What was that,
anyway,
34 years ago?
all I'm trying to say is stop whining, compete. Everyone trashes on Xbox because they can't make a third-person action narrative-driven game with crazy cutscenes and a huge polish. Okay, you guys got to step up. And how's this any different than when they took all that Destiny content and kept it behind the wall? And that was a third-party game. So I'm yes, Call of Duty is massive, but its success is not guaranteed, and it's staying multi-platform. And yes, isn't that the point, you guys, of creating a console is to have exclusives to influence you to buy that platform? So Microsoft, good on you. This deal is going to go through. I should have invested in Activision Blizzard stock. Should have put my savings on there and make some money. Bubble Boy, you had your hand raised first. Let's hear why you think
because
it's
I'm
such
just
a
going to make a
bad
couple
thing
of
for
points, and
Microsoft.
then Chapo will tell us both why we're wrong, and he'll bring the economics into it. I'm sure of it. Because and that's kind of where I want to go. How can you justify spending $70 billion on something that you consider not unique and
Because they're not just
none of
buying
it's a
Call of
must
Duty.
have?
You're not just buying Call of Duty.
I
You're
understand
buying
that,
many
but
IP, many
and so
studios.
and because I wish I put that Lady Dimitrescu statue on there and was listening to you guys talk about that, and I'm just like, for $1,500, are you kidding me? That's like that to us would be the most obnoxious amount of money we've ever spent on something, right? Like, is that a must have? Oh my gosh, not even close. That's what I think of when not a must have, not this stuff.
Yeah. Whose
I know
Apple
it's me, and
notification?
it's every time. Like, just it's terrible timing. I'm sorry.
Is it feeding
I,
through
I,
your computer into us?
well, because I use my phone for
Oh my gosh! Thank you,
um
Apple, for that interruption. Keep going,
yeah.
Bubble Boy.
No, I'm just like, come on. And for something that you're buying like that, it's almost like, are they having some really major buyer's remorse with this? Like, what would compel them to make a statement like that? I just don't get it. And I think, yeah, Jose, almost, because you'll get to tell us why we're both wrong. I just think that, like, we are in a place where you don't have to have that giant um, console exclusive. They are in a place where they're like, yep, great. You buy it on Microsoft, you buy it on PlayStation, Microsoft's still going to make money no matter what. So I don't know. Jose, tell us why we're wrong.
I don't think you're wrong. I think you're both right. But here's a couple points I would add to what you guys said. So, in terms of why Xbox would say this, I mean, I don't know. I'm not Phil Spencer. I'm not Sarah Bond. I'm not their accountants, right? But here's a couple reasons why you might say it. One is that this acquisition still hasn't gone through. It's on par. It's on course to go through. It likely will go through, but they still have to cover a couple of hurdles, including one, they don't want Activision Blizzard to feel like they were undervalued and want more money, right? So as weird as it sounds, it might be a little bit of like negging of like, yeah, your game's fine, but it's not amazing. We're just going to add it to our lineup. That could be a reason. The other reason could be purely from like the government standpoint, because again, like all things related to monopoly power, if the government feels like this acquisition puts Xbox too far ahead, they literally won't allow it to happen. And so it may be that they're trying to create press around the fact that like, oh, Call of Duty is not that big of a game. It's not that big. You know, there are lots of games like Call of Duty. I actually at the same time would disagree with that. I do think Call of Duty has something special that other games don't, even though Apex Legends and PUBG and Battlefield and Halo are in
Fortnite.
that same
Isn't
in that
Fortnite
realm.
like that's the biggest thing? I would argue that that might be bigger.
But here's the one thing that Call of Duty has that none of those games actually do have: a story with characters that is ongoing. None of those have that. They have characters in pieces and they're disjoined.
Counter
But
argument, Jose. How many people buy Call of Duty for the campaigns? I would
lots of
really
people
like
do.
to.
We
Okay,
don't.
let's look at the achievements and see how many people
I do.
complete the achievements.
I
Start
do.
looking up the achievement completions because that tells the story right there on what people are playing. But sorry, go ahead.
But so Chance made the same point. You know, you look at the history of Call of Duty when it started with Call of Duty when we were back in World War II on the PS2, I think was the first. Was it the first one? Am I wrong? I could be wrong on that. But like that
360.
that pedigree is something that you can't just make instantly. Maybe one day Fortnite will be there, right? Fortnite is very good at adaptability. They're good at adding characters and skins and changing the map. Like they're on par to also do that in 10 years, right? And maybe at that point, Epic will, that same thing will happen. Maybe PlayStation will buy Epic and we'll be in that same world. But I still think that's something different. Now, the other piece of this, couple other things. You asked, why is this no different than God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn? Because those are purely story driven, no multiplayer, right? And at some point they have to come to an end. But I agree with you, Dan, when you also said that
What difference does it make if it's a multiplayer game versus a single player game? I don't.
Because people come back to play multiplayers all the time, like as opposed to the story. Like you might play the story 2 or 3 times. Like you even said this in our last episode. Like achievements, sometimes when you have to play it a second time.
I can't play God of War unless I buy a PS5. Xbox isn't saying you can't play Call of Duty if you don't have an Xbox.
You're right. I agree with you. The difference is that this started multi-platform and now it's going to one platform. God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn have not been multi-platform. They started on PlayStation. They remain on PlayStation. That is different in the eyes of the public. Now, I would also say an interesting point, because I was also listening to the Trophy Room today that I thought, I don't know if it was Joe or Kyle made. is that when you think about the future of Xbox, the way that they're poising themselves, they are poising themselves to be the leader in terms of first person shooters, Western RPGs, story driven narratives, sports games. Like they are aiming for those sites. And it realistically, unless Sony does something drastic or creative or they get super lucky, that's going to be a serious problem. And here's the thing, in case anybody's listening and thinking, man, they're just crushing on Sony, I actually don't want Xbox to become a monopoly. I don't want it to be a god king in the industry, because I've said this before. I think competition is important for industry. I think it's how you propel things forward. And I think it's important that both sides have kind of their thing. I think it's better when they share that thing, but I also understand that realistically they got to do what they can to make money. And Xbox is clearly putting a lot of money into Activision Blizzard because they think this is going to make them a ton of money. And I agree with that over time. So I think people are blowing this a little bit out of proportion. Like, for example, like literally when I heard the article that they're like, Sony thinks that Xbox is going to have an advantage because of Call of Duty, I was like,
he's absolutely right.
Yeah, that's exactly why they're paying billions of dollars for this studio. They think the same thing. I didn't think it was like a revelation. I think it's kind of weird that we're bringing it up now. But overall, I am curious to see if it's going to change anything. I don't think it will. You know what I'm saying? I think this is just the hot piece of news for the week, and then we'll find something else. But we'll see.
And I want to feed off that. Like, let's say Halo continues to struggle and it's not as relevant as it is, and it goes away. Call of Duty could, if it's still popular at that point, become an Xbox exclusive. And that is something to consider. But even if it's not happening, okay, you can still buy PlayStation. You're still going to be able to buy Call of Duty for the foreseeable future on PlayStation. Okay, so it's not an exclusive. Microsoft will be making money on all of those purchases on PlayStation. So that's great for them. And not in addition to that, for the next 2 years at least, they have marketing rights, PlayStation. So you're still going to have that brand association with PlayStation. How is that fair? Well, they're honoring the previous contract Microsoft will be with that Activision had signed with Sony. But I would still argue that it's not a guarantee the success of Call of Duty.
Fully agree with you.
It's not. And yeah, even in its down year, it's still the best selling game. But I find it hard to agree that or disagree that Sony is make them compete, Jose. Like you said, this is going to breed competition. All right, Sony, it's time to do something different. Okay. And like you said, Xbox is positioning itself to have almost everything you could ask for offered through Game Pass. That is great for us, first of all, because we're Game Pass subscribers, and that is great for gaming in general, but it's also going to force Sony to step it up. So I don't have as much empathy or sympathy, I guess I should say, for Sony in this position. They have been doing exclusive deals, taking content. Where's Final Fantasy VII, you guys? How is this any different than that? Xbox isn't taking Call of Duty away. Yeah, it may influence some people to buy an Xbox over a PlayStation. So what? Isn't that capitalism, Jose? Isn't that competition?
Yeah, and Final Fantasy is a great example of what you were talking
That's
about.
Another
No game
exclusive.
ever reigns supreme. Because when 7 came out, honestly, the world thought there would never be another greater system than PlayStation and never be another IP more important than Final Fantasy. And I'm not saying that it's died, but Final Fantasy certainly doesn't have the same luster that it did around that time into the 8, 9, 10 era, right? And so that's just because things changed and maybe they made mistakes, whatever you want to say. Call of Duty could do the same thing. They get super wild.
Yeah.
They take risks that don't pay off, and in 10 years we could be in the same place. So
yeah,
I agree with you on that piece. Chance, I know you've been waiting. What do you have, bud?
Let me finish one more point. I just want to say, all I'm saying is I think if Call of Duty was coming an Xbox PC exclusive, yes, this argument would be incredibly Sony would have all the right in the world to be super concerned because their sales would go down a bunch, but that's not happening. They said it's going to stay multi-platform. So until that does, sorry, Sony, this is part of the game. Make some better first-person shooters, or make a first-person shooter for that matter. And if you can't compete, you can't compete. You still have it on your system. So good luck to you. Sorry, go ahead, Bubble Boy.
I think at the end of the day, maybe this was just Microsoft's probably ill-advised way of reminding the public that they bought Activision Blizzard because people forgot.
I need to invest in their stock. Let's close it up on this topic and let's jump into another rumor concerning Xbox. This is coming from Idle Sloth over on Twitter. That's where I first saw this. An update at Extas One STV has a news source that has corroborated that the Elite Series 3 will be tied to a major release next year in 2023. Also, a peripheral for Forza Motorsport will be released in 2023. He assumes it will be a steering wheel, doesn't know if it will be proprietary or licensed. Credit to Pope Art for this awesome Forza Horizon controller looking drawing. Guys, it's finally happening. Hopefully, will you be picking up an Elite Series 3 day one? Bubble Boy, I'm going to guess no, throw it over to you because you just bought that Halo one, but
Yeah,
this is
I
going
don't
to
think
be a
I
day.
can. It does look gorgeous. That motorsport, the blue and the red just pops that little bit of red on it. It looks like, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
The
the triggers.
paddles are
Yeah,
red
or
on the
the
back too,
paddles.
which is super cool. As far as design and from what you can see in that picture, it looks no different than the
Well,
two.
no, that's just
Literally.
a drawing, Chance. That's not the real one. That's just a
That's
Pope
a
Art.
mock-up that the guy
Yeah,
made.
Pope Art
Okay,
makes a bunch
okay,
of
okay.
he does them for
But
all controllers.
and with that being said, what more can they possibly do, right?
Share
And
button,
we what?
durability, share button.
Oh, apparently, yeah, for bacon. But yeah,
Haptic vibrations like
I
PS5
don't
DualSense.
think I can swing it. I
This will
wish.
be a day one for me, in
That's what
case
she
you're
said.
wondering. Chipotle Bear, any interest in the next Elite Series controller, or are you satisfied with the Series 2?
I mean, as a gamer, especially an Xbox fan, of course I'm interested. I think it's going to come down really to the price. That's really always. I mean, if it came out and said the new thing about the Elite is that it's better, but it's only $100, like that would be very tempting, right? Like I'm just saying in a fantasy world. In terms of, I agree with Chance because the truth is, I actually just upgraded to the 2 only like 8 months ago. I was on the 1 forever, and like I told you, my 1 is still running fine. Like I didn't really have a compelling reason other than I had FOMO because you two a-holes every week were talking about your Series 2, how awesome it was, and I picked it up, and it was worth it. Every dollar was worth it, but it's hard for me to justify something that's like $200-300 that isn't gonna. I mean, I'm not a great gamer. I'm not a streamer who's making all kinds of money. That I have Twitch reflexes. Like that's really not going to help me get better at games. Um, I think that one thing could be cool, and we've talked about this for a long time. If they bring the design lab to the Series 3, like that's a compelling reason to upgrade. If there was tied to a major release, maybe a Starfield controller, if they did a good job, like the Halo one could be cool. But again, that's a ton of money, dude. And like, I'll tell you what, like as crazy as it sounds, I've worked with like Airbrush more and more this summer and the Cricut more and more this summer. I have a hard time believing that I couldn't make something as beautiful on my Series 2 by myself for basically free. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm happy they're doing it. I always love to see that the new hardware piece, and if my Series 2 ever broke, yes, I would absolutely consider a 3 if it was out and compelling. But I also want to see what features it brings, like Chance said.
I can't remember who else. Maybe this was on Unlocked. Yeah, I think it was. What would you think about a mid-cycle refresh on the controller? And they were like, I remember they were asking, had this ever been done? And yes, it had been done with the Xbox One generation. They switched over. If you remember, it only had that adapter thing that you had to plug in for the headset, and then they added 3.5 millimeter, and they also tweaked the bumper a little bit. Is there anything you would want to add? And I would say the only thing I could think of would be the haptic feedback, the vibrations in the PS5. It makes me play games a little bit more with the vibration because how cool it feels. It's like it's more subtle. Like that's I think the only thing is really they add to it. I think the triggers are bad, you guys. Once you play a game with it, you'll see it's just annoying to have to press harder on the triggers. But the vibrations I feel is something that they could add. So Bubble Boy, would there be anything you want to see on a mid-cycle controller refresh?
I mean, it's hard. I haven't really thought about it because it'd make me sad to see all the improvements because I know I couldn't get it. So I actually, here's what I'll say. It would be really cool to see them do more like they did with the Halo release. To have the controller that looks like those games. That'd be another one of those
So like
collector's
franchises
edition items.
controllers,
Yeah.
not tied to like releases. Like you can just buy them in this skin or something like that, like in the design lab or something.
No, like so I'm saying if that Callisto protocol, for example, that the collector's edition came with an Elite Series 2, that was designed to look like something from that series, something like that. Because I know, and I kind of late on this one, and it was my fault for not being there last week, but that I wish those collector's editions had something a little bit more to compel me to buy them. And you guys kind of nailed that conversation, but something like that's functional and super cool.
Like a plate. Imagine if you had like a plate that clicked on the front that was for the game.
Yeah.
That it wouldn't
Oh,
really
I think
change
like
your
an actual
favorite.
physical plate to eat off of. I was like, yeah, I'd love that. I'd eat
A
off
cereal
of that.
bowl so we could all eat our cereal.
Seriously.
Like
Yeah.
that'd be dope.
Jose, do you want to see anything for the controller? Or you're good.
You
You're
know,
good there, yeah.
I'm not into it now, but I've always wanted to get into more of the like sharing and not necessarily making reviews because I don't play games fast enough. But I like video editing and making cool things. I wish the share feature and DVR was better on the Xbox. I hope that's something they
software
improve.
thing. God, they need to improve it.
And if they had that dedicated share button that was easy to use, or it popped up a little menu and you make a couple quick tweaks and it's away and it's done, like I think that would be really cool. That actually might be compelling enough to sell my Series 2 and buy a Series 3, but that's, again, you said it's software, so I don't know if that's going to come through or not. But other than that, no, I don't know. That's why I'm curious to see what their upgrades are, and that's probably why it's been so long since they've done the 3. They're just like, we made the perfect controller, like what do we do next?
I hope so. Either way, I'm very excited. I will be purchasing it day one because I just love the Elite controllers. So my other thing would be maybe make it in like 2 colors, white and black. So let's move on to the next story. Let's try to speed it up here. Quick stories here from now on, you guys. Chance, tell us about Tony Hawk.
Oh, sorry. So this one was, I had actually heard about it on, gosh, sorry, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden, on 92.5 on the radio on Altitude. They were just like telling stories about things that were loosely sports related, and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've heard in a long time. So there is a band, and they are called the 900, which is a reference to one of the moves you can do in Tony Hawk, and they are a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 soundtrack cover band, which I was like, how is that even a thing? They sell out shows. They're not like big shows. They're not playing the Pepsi Center or anything like that. But they tour around
Ball
the UK.
Arena.
Yeah, and Ball Arena.
It'll always be the Pepsi Center.
I know. Sorry. I was just like, how amazing is that? And then and you don't have to read this article. It's I just told you everything that's in it right there. But Tony Hawk randomly shows up at this bar in the United Kingdom, and he sang like half of their set with them, which it showed me two things. I was like, A, he really did probably curate the music for that soundtrack, which is so cool. Otherwise, how's he going to get up there and sing with them? And B, like, I was just like, oh my God, how like on the nose, or just like, I don't even know what's the word, like meta is that. It made me smile and giggle to no end.
Jose or Chance, did either of you buy the re-release of Tony Hawk?
I didn't, but I want to. It's on my list. But you keep
shows its relevance right there. Sorry, go ahead, Jose.
It's a great game.
To this article, Jose.
It's a great game. I'm just saying, like, it's an amazing game. I love Tony Hawk. Because I've played it and I beat it. I mean, I pumped in so many hours as a kid. It's like one of those where, like, if I was ever one day where I had literally nothing left to play, I would absolutely pay it. I'd pay $40 for that game. I'm sure it looks beautiful. It's just, I have a lot to catch up on in my backlog. I just bought GTA 5. I haven't even started that yet. So I got too much to play. Otherwise I would. But the soundtrack is a banger, dude. Goldfinger and like some of the old bands. Awesome.
Let's move on to the next story. And who brought up? I have nothing to say. I'm just going to tell you right now. I haven't seen a single Harry Potter movie or read a book, and I'm good on this one. So whoever wants to talk about Hogwarts Legacy.
Well, actually, real quick first, so the story ahead of that real quick is about Xbox testing Game Pass Ultimate Family Plan.
No. I was going to get to that eventually, Jose. We're not going
well, I didn't know if you're skipping it or not. So
Hogwarts
Legacy, coming to us from GameSpot from Product Cadavra. Oh no, sorry, that's the award. That's not the author. The author is Darren Bonthis. Sorry, my bad. That's the like subtitle. I know Hogwarts Legacy is a PlayStation game, but Harry Potter is another one of those iconic things.
It's multiples. It's cross-platform.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's everything.
Anyway, um, interesting. I'm still on the fence with this. That's why I actually wanted to put it in here. I wanted to see where you guys are. I like Harry Potter. I loved going to Harry Potter World. I never actually read the books as a kid because we were too old kind of at the point that they had come out and stuff. And so I'm curious to see how the game's going to go. I do like that they're really moving away from like the Daniel Radcliffe story where it's like really in that world, but a totally different story. And I watched the little trailer. It looks cool. I mean, it leads into a scene. Obviously, we were going to be trying to sneak into this castle, and it kind of gave me Assassin's Creed vibes a little bit in terms of what was probably coming next and the story. So I mean, I'm curious. It wasn't on my like day one buy list, but the more I'm hearing about it, the more I'm kind of like, I kind of might check it out depending on when it comes out and what else is out at the time. But I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are in terms of Hogwarts Legacy.
Go ahead, Bubble Boy. You already heard my thoughts.
Those books were expertly written. I think I don't know that we'll ever see something as polished and like world changing as that. If you go back to thinking like what that did for I guess I'll call it the culture of reading, getting little kids to think reading was cool, and even bigger kids to think reading was cool is pretty incredible. Like I said, the books were incredible. I didn't read them until I was out of college, I think, or even after college. I didn't read them. The movies I thought were as well done as you could do a movie for a book that was that in depth. All that being said, I just don't care about the game.
Moving on,
All
Jose, to Xbox is testing a Game Pass Ultimate Family Plan. This just broke actually today. A lot of people were talking about it. Jose, apparently it's going to be $21.99, I believe, out there in those euros and whatever they spend out there in Great Britain and the pounds and all that not caca. And then the United States, it'll be $25 a month up to 4 people. Jose, what did you want to discuss about the family?
Well, I wanted to tell people the price in case they hadn't heard the story, that it's theoretically $25 a month for up to 4 people. I'm curious to know how they're gonna, like, how does it work in terms of like knowing a household? Because I was already thinking like, all right, so me and Chance and Dan go in on it. We all use the same address.
I think you can do it like that.
I mean, at that point, Game Pass becomes what, like $8 a month for right now with the 3 of us. If we get a 4th in here, it's like 6 or 7. Like,
yeah,
that seems like a no brainer. And I'm not trying to short Xbox money. I'm just thinking as a dad, basically trying to save money. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess any thoughts for you guys? I think it's interesting. I guess in one day when my daughters are way older and are hopefully into gaming, like this will be awesome. I'm totally in on this. Right now, obviously, I don't have necessarily a need unless we're going to go in on it as friends. So I'm curious.
But think about thoughts? Like, yeah, I do. So we have the means, right? We can just keep paying our $15 a month, or like Chance and I and you, I'm sure we do those insane deals where you stack it for like 3 years at half price. And, and we're already paying probably less than that, than splitting it. But I do believe it's not confirmed yet that you will be able to split it. So people who are like, let's say you're in college, 4 college buds will be able to split it, or high schoolers or families. Yes, I think it's only adding again to the value of Xbox, and it's a win-win. But you're right. Right now for us, until Grayson and Maddie and Brooke are gaming on their own Xboxes, which again, you'd have to buy multiple Xboxes to do that. I guess
which you've already done.
Well, I have, but you could also stream probably at that point. It doesn't apply too much to us, but I could see if I was a college kid, heck yeah, I'd be all over this if we confirmed that we can just split it between. It would be like me, Alan, Baxter, and Snelling or something like that would have been. Can you just imagine if we had I would have failed out of school. Let's be real. Like, it's probably a good thing that Game Pass didn't exist when I was in high school and college, because I don't know what I would be doing. But again, a lot of kids these days are just playing that Fortnite, I hear. So go ahead.
Yeah, but it also made me think, and that was just a part I guess I had never realized or thought about. So imagine if my kids were like, I don't know, 16 and 21 right now, and we were all living together. For years now, I would have been paying $45 a month for all of us to have Xbox if they weren't paying, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, I had even like that blew my mind a little bit. And so on that, I'm sure people like that, which I know there's probably not a ton of those, but those like that, I'm sure they're pumped right now to hear this news. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm curious.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Jose, because I was listening to a Twitter space with Paris and he brought that up. He's like, I've got, 3 kids and I have been paying it. And then another guy had called in. He's like, I've got 4 boys. We all have Xboxes. We're all playing for Game Pass. He's like, this is going to be a lifesaver, for me. So yeah, absolutely. Those families in those specific situations. Bubble Boy, you good on this one? We ready to?
Yeah, no, I feel exactly like you guys. You summed it up for me.
Okay. So let's move on to a fun little story. And this is more of just a shout out. Guys, history was made just the other day, just last night. Twitch streamer JerValin beat Halo 2 LASO. Legendary. All skulls on except for the one that makes you invisible. He didn't die. He did it in about 6 hours, 6.5 hours, 6 hours, 29 minutes, 44.17 seconds. I'm so sad. Perfect. That I was not there to witness history. A lot of people thought it could never be done, but I'm pretty sure the bounty that was set out by what was the name of the guy who set out Twitch streamer Moist Critical issued a $5,000 bounty to complete the challenge in June, but then he upped it to 20,000 after he saw how insane it was and how nobody was making progress. But I'm pretty sure he mentioned this guy. I watched the video on YouTube when he set out the bounty, and he's like, "These are some guys you need to watch." I'm pretty sure he was one of the ones that he mentioned. Congratulations to JerValin, the ultimate ultimate Halo campaign player in all of the world. History made. Bubble Boy, what was your thoughts to this incredible feat? And
It's insane. And I did they for sure pay him the money?
he's gonna get the money. And besides that, he started to get a bunch of Twitch free subs.
Okay,
I'm sure
because that's
he's
what I was
probably
gonna
gonna
say. I was
double
like,
it.
they better give him the money, but just in case they don't, I think he'll be okay.
What the heck was that? Jose, any reaction to this incredible feat? This is just a great story. And I remember listening to Chris Reagan on Sacred Symbols, and he's a huge Halo fan, and he was trying it himself. And I watched some of his streams. It's hilarious. Like, he couldn't even get past like the first level. It was just so crazy. So just an incredible feat. Jose, what are your thoughts on this moment in history?
I think it's
Gaming
awesome.
history.
I think in addition to what you guys said, which I fully agree about everything, is that that's one of the things I think I love the most about the video game world that we're in right now.
Mhm.
Like, I love talking about new stuff and future stuff and, acquisitions, but I also love that this
This is a
community has
cool
people that
story.
are just like, they find a game and they're just like, this is it, man. I'm just going to play this till I can play it perfect. And, it's like the same
Like
people that play like,
speedrunners.
yeah, the Ocarina of Time. Have you ever watched those like on N64?
Oh
Like,
yeah. It's
it is
crazy.
mind blowing. And so I love that it brings out the passion of people. I'm super obviously happy for JerValin, not only to get the achievements and the memory of it and the money, of course, but it's just a big win for gaming all around. Because I'm sure even PlayStation fans were like giving slow claps everywhere and stuff like that. Like, it's just a good thing to bring to people
Yeah,
together, which is
that
awesome.
that's such a great point, Jose. This is something that everybody got around and supported, and it's so cool to see. And it's just so, like you said, just to see the passion. And I think you could hear his wife or his girlfriend screaming like, "Yes, yes!" Like freaking out as soon as it happened. It's so cool. So if you have, I highly recommend go watch the stream, go watch the clip at the end. Like you could see him slowly. He's in a banshee, just trying to take out the last boss. And I couldn't imagine his heart rate and how much pressure he was feeling at that moment. He's like, "I'm not gonna rush it." He's like, "I'm just staying back. Shut up over there." Like his chat. He's like,
Yeah,
I
because he
can't
said he'd
force
been training for it for like 8 months or
Oh,
something, right?
forever. Like the amount of money, I mean, it's probably good to compared to how many hours he spent trying to do it, is crazy. But still, the first person in the world to do it, so cool. I love how you said it, Jose. This is a story that everybody can get behind. I mean, even if you're not into gaming, it's very cool. So shout out one last time to JerValin on this incredible feat. Guys, let's close the news story with one of our favorite segments. Coming soon to Xbox Game Pass for August 2nd, 2022. Do you want to alternate reading the descriptions or do you just want me to quickly read them? Bubble Boy, I'll leave it up to you.
Sorry, I
Pregnant
was
pause.
struggling. No, stop. I like reading some of them too.
Okay.
We can pass it off.
All right, here we go. Available right now, Ghost Recon Wildlands on cloud, console, and PC. Create a team with up to 3 friends to experience Ghost Recon Wildlands, the ultimate third-person military shooter set in a massive, dangerous, and responsive open world. The Ghosts, a U.S. Special Forces team, are tasked to combat the Santa Blanca cartel and save Bolivia from collapse. You decide how to play, and every decision affects the world around you. Bubble Boy, I already know you and we got every achievement on this. This is a fantastic game.
Hold on.
Go play
I
it.
didn't, and I already downloaded it,
Play
started it
it.
last night. I know.
It's a great game. This
I'm
is the
going back
last.
because I am gonna get the 1,000 out of
Yes.
1,000, and I'll probably get the
Oh, get the
DLCs and
DLC. It's a
Narco Road
grind,
and
but
all that.
it's
Yeah.
it's an achievable
It
grind, and it's
it's
fun too. This is like one of the best Ubisoft open world.
It
This was
really
the
was.
last.
It
This
really
is like the
was.
last. Sorry,
The
go ahead.
character customization, all of it.
Fantastic. So
Chapo, you
fun.
missed it, didn't you?
This is great.
You
No,
never
I
played
actually
that? We
played
should
this
play
That's
some
right.
together, man.
That's
like
right.
the first DLC, and then I've stopped playing. But I
Yeah.
even loved it. It was I want to go back and play
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
It came
Alan-
with
gotta
some
play
other
it.
stuff, but
Alan hasn't finished it, and that's right. We still haven't finished the Splinter Cell. We kept trying to do it, and me and him kept dying. We couldn't do
Yeah.
it, so I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to go back and play it. This is a great, and it
Yeah.
looks fantastic. The 60 FPS, the 4K. This game, you guys, is worth your time for sure
Most
on
certainly.
Game Pass.
Most
So
certainly. So and it was so funny because they had the that ultimate game sale a few weeks ago, and
yeah,
sure enough, every time Microsoft is just the gift that
they
keeps
know
on
what.
giving. Because I was like, no, the gold edition, like $30. It's like, I don't need it. And I have all these other things. And I talked myself out of it. And then 2 days later, out of the blue,
Coming to
no
Game
indication
Pass.
that this was coming whatsoever. It makes up for the fact that I bought the Ultimate Edition of Breakpoint before it came out and had
Oh,
me
yeah.
reviews. So,
Oh
woo-woo.
no.
And then moving right along,
Yeah, move on.
I'm
Tell
going to
us.
skip Shenzhen IO because it's PC only. Turbo Golf Racing, cloud PC and console
Series
available
X and S.
today. Oh, Series XS, sorry. Today, as we record August 4th, Turbo Golf Racing is an arcade-style sports racing game for up to 8 players online. Drive, boost, jump, flip, and fly your turbo-powered car, slam into oversized golf balls, race your friends in an explosive dash to the finish flag. This reminds me a little bit of Rocket League, and although I didn't play Rocket League, I absolutely understand the following behind it, and I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
You got to play
by
some
this game.
golf, and you like golf more than soccer. Let's be real. Jose,
Oh,
why
yeah.
don't you tell us about Shenzhen, since you're the
okay.
Shenzhen
So
golf.
Shenzhen IO, PC only from ID at Xbox on August 4th, which is today as we record, an open-ended programming puzzle that challenges players to build circuits using a variety of components inspired by real-world electronics engineering. The game takes players on a journey to a near-future Shenzhen, which is in China, if that wasn't clear, the electronics manufacturing capital of the world. Yeah. So Dan, you want to tell us about 2 Point Campus?
2 Point Campus, and this is coming to Game Pass, cloud console and PC on August 9th, available day 1 on Game Pass. Build a university of your dreams with 2 Point Campus, the sim with a twist from the makers of 2 Point Hospital. Build, hire staff, and run an academic institution packed with wild courses. I just wanted to quickly say, guys, that ACG tweeted about this, Chance, saying how cool it was that this game was coming. So apparently maybe I need to check out the trailer and check this one out, because ACG, he's usually got good recommendations. So Zay, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I actually checked out the trailer today when I had a break at work, and it looks really beautiful, and it looks like a really cool sim game.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it looks very stressful. Like when I was watching the demo play, I was like, this is very cool, but I would be literally not enjoying myself playing, because it's not like Chance. What was the game you played with the demoing walls that you loved?
House
simulator?
Flipper.
House
Yeah,
Flipper.
and
it's
like
not where you just have
Claire's,
time and
Power
you
Washer.
think
No.
about it. It's like one of those
No,
games
no,
where there's
no.
like a meter in the
Ooh.
corner, and there's
Okay.
like happiness, and it's in real time changing. Like that gives me stress. So it's beautiful. I bet it's really fun. It's just not for me, but it does look really cool if you're interested, for sure.
Bubble Boy, tell us about Cooking Simulator. Thank you.
Yeah,
Speaking
well,
of
and I
your other
feel bad
games,
that I have to read this one for you, because I know you're all about these games, Daniel. Come in August 11th, cloud console and PC. Play one of the best cooking games, which is Objective, if you're Diwali, take control of a highly polished, realistic kitchen equipped with all kinds of utensils and stands. Unlock and master over 80 recipes or use dozens of lifelike ingredients to cook everything you like. A simulator spiced up with a dash of real-life physics.
I know Bubble Boy is going to be cooking up that game pretty soon. He loves this new simulators. Would be cool if it actually taught you how to cook like real recipes. Maybe that would be practical. But again, don't like cooking. Jose,
Yeah,
tell us
because
about
House
the next
Flipper didn't teach me anything.
one. Jose, tell us about Expeditions Rome PC.
So, another PC on August 11th. Determine the destiny of Rome as you conquer foreign lands and navigate political intrigue in this turn-based RPG. Directly fight with your party of Praetorians, guide your legion to victory, and choose your own path in a story where every decision matters. How will you shape the future of Rome?
And last, so thank you, Jose. Off-World Trading Company on PC, ID at Xbox, August 11th. Mars has been colonized. Now, Earth's greatest corporate titans have been invited to build companies to support it. The competition to dominate the market is fierce in this fast-paced economic RTS. And guys, I just wanted to quickly say, games leaving Game Pass August 15th. We've got Boyfriend Dungeon, Curse of the Dead Gods, Library of Ruina, Starmancer, and Train Sim World 2. So not many big ones that we're going to miss there. So that has been the Xbox news for the week. And gaming news, we've surprisingly a lot of gaming news. So guys, do we want to jump into what we've been playing or watching, or should we save that and jump into what we've all been waiting for? Top Gun Call Signs official ranking. So what do we want to do?
I mean, my articles can wait till next week, so I'm fine with going into Top Gun. Chance, what do you think?
Your articles?
Yep.
Yeah, he has articles on there.
I thought we did all
what
the
we
news.
watched. No, this is related to what we've been watching.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Let's
go to
save
Top Gun.
let's save it for next week. Guys, we need to do it. It's here. And I should have worn my Top Gun outfit. I'm so mad at myself right now. We need to rank the top 10 official call signs from the Top Gun universe. So here's how we're going to go through. Jose, I'm going to ask you to keep score. We are each going to read our top 10 lists. If you're number 1, you get 10 points. If you're number 2, you get 9 points. It's just opposite, right, Jose? Whoever gets the most points will be first on the list. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you're 10, you only get a point. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, I got you.
So who would like to read their top 10 call signs first, or shall I go first?
Why don't you go first? Because I need to practice with the math.
Okay, here we go. This is Daddy Diwali's official ranking of the top 10 call signs in the Top Gun universe. Number 10, Wolfman. Number 9, Jester. Number 8, Payback. Number 7, Hollywood. Number 6, Halo. Number 5, Hangman. Number 4, Iceman. Number 3, Maverick. Number 2, Sundown. And number 1 on Wally's list, Warlock. So Warlock, do you want me to help keep, or do you have a system going there, Jose? Because I don't want to rush this for you.
Yeah, I'm going in order. Do me a favor while I finish this real quick. Chance, what are your thoughts about Dan's list?
Pretty solid, right, Bubble Boy?
I mean, it's the second best list.
Oh, how about this? Did anything on my list stand out to you? Like, really? I bet there's one on there where you're like, you put it there? Iceman?
I mean, hold on, because I'm confused. You said Warlock was your favorite, right?
Correct. Warlock, Sundown,
Oh, that's
Maverick.
why Jose's giving it 10 points. I see. Okay.
Yeah, those are just over there. Yeah.
Let's play score because I'll do the math in a minute.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, good idea. We can just add to it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I was listening to you, and then I got super
totally
thrown off
phased
by
out.
some of that,
Okay.
so.
Jose, are you, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Sundown was your number 2, bud?
Yes! Sundown should have been my number 1 when we did the rankings, remember?
That's really really weird.
Dude,
and
Sundown.
Also,
Dude.
you don't have
It's
Goose
so
anywhere
cool.
on there.
No,
That's-
Goose is out. Goose is out.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
I
It's
think that's
I don't like Goose. I
atrocious.
don't like Rooster. Come on, man. Anyway, Bubble Boy, give
All right,
us
Chance, you
your
do yours.
top
the
10.
real.
Hey, give
top
Jose
10
some time,
here.
and then Jose. Okay, I'll react.
Coming
I can
in,
do-
number 10, Rooster.
Okay.
Number 9, Hammer.
Oh,
Number 8, Halo.
Okay.
Number 7, Wolfman.
I'm sorry, I'm just missing it here. What the? There we go. So, go ahead.
Number 6, Goose.
Love it.
Number 5, Payback.
Okay.
Number 4, Rooster. Did I say Rooster? Shit, did I? Damn it.
Yep.
no,
You had
Damn it.
you had
no,
it-
you didn't say it before. You said Goose earlier. Rooster 4?
Rooster. Goose. Rooster.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Insane.
I put the wrong one here.
Absolutely insane.
No,
Keep
because
going.
Dan, you didn't have Goose on your list, right?
He didn't. He's a crazy,
Okay,
crazy
Chance,
man.
when did you have Goose? Jose's tripped up on this because you said Goose earlier. Goose was like
Goose
8
was
for you.
number 5.
Okay,
So
Goose
five,
is
yeah.
5. So Goose then Rooster?
No, Rooster then Goose. Sorry.
Rooster was 5,
Goose
Right?
4.
Okay,
Goose.
here. All right.
6. Okay, got it.
Claire, I
We're
hope
good
you're
now.
listening. We're having troubles over here.
Yes.
I was not a math
Sorry.
teacher, people. I
And
just
then
want you to know that.
the top 3
Here we
are
go, let's hear
obvious. Iceman,
Uh,
Maverick, Iceman, Warlock.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No,
so
Maverick first. Yeah, you
Maverick
gotta go
3.
in
No, Maverick,
Maverick.
3.
Sorry, yeah, I
Ice
am-
2. He's horrible.
There's
He's
too
the one
many
who always
squares on
argues.
there.
He's the one who argues all the time about going top down. Okay, so
No,
he's
I know,
Maverick,
but there were so many that I'm like looking at this square and then that square and then
Maverick is his 3rd.
Maverick,
Iceman is his
Iceman.
2. Warlock 1.
Warlock.
Well,
Yep.
Warlock's already won number 1. I could already
Yep.
tell just from points. Let's
Well,
hear
here
it,
comes
Jose.
Chipotle Bear.
Goodness.
Wild
Sorry.
card.
You
He's
need
going to throw
me
some
to
wrenches
keep
in
track
here.
here, or you got this.
No, just help me keep my thing here. So I'm going to go in reverse order too. All right. So my number 10 is Rooster. I like the name Rooster. I think it's a good homage to Goose. I also think there's a sexual innuendo there that I thought that was very subversive in a great way. So number 9 for me is Jester. I also thought that was a cool name. I did go back and forth because it's a little like, are you trying to be like a funny guy? Are you like the court fool? But I think it just sounds cool. Jester obviously had a cool logo, that kind of thing. Anyway, number 8 for me was Merlin. I know that was not on either of your lists. I just think that's a cool name, like literally named after one of the greatest wizards of all time, which would be sweet. Number 7 for me is Hollywood. I really liked Hollywood. I thought it was a cool, I get that people call somebody that. I think they're probably good looking. They're probably charismatic. So I think that's cool. Number 6 is Payback for me. I think that's a cool name. You guys had that on your lists too. Number 5 was Goose for me. Number 6, Maverick. That was number 4. I'm sorry. 4, Maverick. 3, Wolfman. Sorry, this is a lot harder to do than like I thought. I wasn't planning for this. I apologize for the listeners out
He's
there.
stepping up big time.
Iceman number 2, like a lot of you, and of course Warlock coming in that perfect score. I just think that's an amazing call
Okay.
sign, hands down number 1 there.
Here we go. Let's add up the points. So
That Chance is doing that right now for us, so I don't even have to touch it. Which is
okay,
great.
so I can already tell who's number 1. That's easy.
It's gonna be Warlock. I'm guessing 25. So Iceman will be number 2.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, don't
Followed
say it out
by
loud. Here,
Maverick.
type it in, Jose. We don't want to. I'll stall here. Well, while we're doing math here, guys, this has been literally 36 years in the making. We are talking about ranking the call signs from the Top Gun universe, not the movies, not practice, not a game. It's all about XRT's official ranking of the call sign. And while we're adding these up, guys, do you think there's going to be a sequel? Like, this movie has just been a insane hit. One of the best, most
Well,
largest.
didn't Miles Teller approach Tom Cruise about that? I feel like I heard him say that.
Can Tom really do it, you guys? I mean, he's 60.
Hold on. First of all, yes, he can. Second, they need to take their time. So if it's another 17 years,
No.
sure, he'll be fine. What I needed to say though is I've not been looking at our video feed for a while. Those sunglasses you must wear from now on every episode. Period.
Oh, you missed out when I had the full outfit.
Oh yeah, he
on.
had the
I'm
whole
very-
outfit one time. Yeah, he was all
very
into it.
sad that I didn't wear the jacket right now during this historic moment. So, all right.
Okay,
you
we
guys-
have an argument you guys got to settle right now because
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
We have a tie for 8th and 9th place.
Let's
The
hear it.
tie is between Halo and Hollywood. So who is better, Hollywood or Halo?
I mean, we're an Xbox podcast. We got to get
Halo.
the Halo.
Yeah, it's Halo. It's
Yeah,
easy.
Okay, so Halo, we'll give him a 0.5 because he's a fan. And there were people, there were games that scored that are not going to make the list though. We have another tie for the last place here. It's between Hangman and Rooster.
Hangman.
My vote is Rooster.
I can't even believe that Hangman is not on here.
Chance your call. You put your tie and vote. You break that tie.
He's hanging to the left. Come on.
Well, what did I originally give it on here?
I didn't keep track of that.
I know, but we can figure it out.
You had
I gave
Hangman,
it.
pretty sure higher.
I was the only one
higher.
that gave it a 6, and
no,
two of us voted for Rooster. So
Hangman,
Rooster
look at
wins.
Hangman. No, look at Hangman's number 2 on our list, and then Rooster's number 6. So Hangman should win.
That means I was the only person because there's only one.
No.
See this? See how this is highlighted?
Yeah.
There's only one score for
Only
it,
one
meaning
person
only
voted
one
for
of us
Hangman.
voted for Hangman.
The other 2 voted for Rooster.
But how is that possible, you guys? That your list sucks because
Your list sucks.
You
Don't talk about
voted.
it,
You
American.
voted, guys. This is our list before, and we had Rooster 6, and we had Hangman 2.
Hold on.
You guys ranked Hangman 2 when we did.
I didn't put Hangman. So go back and listen to the clip. I hated it.
Oh no, Chance messed it up. He did it. What was your number 1?
I had Hangman and Warlock, didn't I?
Okay.
Did I
so
not
You had
put
Hangman as
on
number
this
1?
list?
Oh my God, you guys. We can't even get this right. This whole segment is busted.
Nope. This is where we're going with people.
No.
Number 1.
No, don't
He
read
can't
it.
possibly go from being our number 2 overall.
Exactly,
the
to
new
not
movie
on the
to
list.
number 10.
Exactly. Think about that, guys.
Oh,
Let that set
boy.
in. Chance,
Oh,
what did you
boy.
do wrong with your list? We got to edit this. We got to get it right.
I can't figure out what I did wrong with
What
it.
was your favorite? Go from favorite to least favorite. Your top 10. Now 1 to 10.
Well, it was Warlock,
Okay.
Iceman,
Okay.
Maverick, Hangman.
Okay. Hangman. There it is.
So
You
7.
need
It would have had 7 points.
Put
So it would have
that
been
there.
13. It would have
No,
tied
wait.
with
Let him
Wolfman.
keep going. Let him keep going. We got to figure this out. So
No, the
No,
rest
No,
were
that
right.
was the only difference.
That's the only
And
one
then
he
you
doesn't
take
have.
off.
So he would have tied with Wolfman.
no,
So
I
which
want to
is
hear the
better?
rest of yours.
You
Chance,
take
go ahead.
off. You
Tell us
take
the rest.
Why is there only?
The rest of your order is correct, is what you're saying. You should have had Hangman higher, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and then you take off the Wolfman that I had on there.
Was he
Would
last
want
on
to.
your
No, because
list?
we're missing a 1 here somewhere.
What are you, Jose? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Why is Bubble Boy having so much trouble with this? Chance, you got to look at this way. My Top Gun list, I put Wally top 10, right? Then to the right was our original Top Gun top 10 ranking, right? Then below that
Maverick.
on the right is Maverick's top 10. Now down to the left, the bottom left is what we've combined. I don't know where your list is. So keep going.
So I know where we're at. It's because Chan's confused. This list down here, where we just have to move everything up, and we have to decide between Wolfman and Hangman. They're tied now with Chance's score of 7.
Hangman.
Okay, so then this Hangman goes here.
Hangman.
Yeah. So I'll fix it on the sheet for us later. But for the audience, here is our correct list.
No, I get
number
to say
10.
it. No,
Oh, you can
give
say
me
it.
a-
So just know
I'm
that
saying
this Hollywood is number 10. Go ahead.
So this is supposed to be 5, right? Yeah, and then everything gets moved up, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Trying again. Here we go. This is the official XRT ranking of the Top Gun call signs in the entire Top Gun universe. This is it. This is the official list that's taken 36 years to come to right here. We've all voted. We all presented our top 10. Here it is. Number 10, Hollywood. Number 9, Halo. Number 8, Sundown. Number 7, Goose. Number 6, Wolfman. Number 5, Hangman. Number 4, Payback. Number 3, Maverick. Number 2, Iceman. And number 1, Warlock. There it is, the official XRT top 10 call signs of all time, as voted on by Bubble Boy and 7, Chipotle Bear, and Daddy Diwali. And I'm going to tell you right now, this list is trash. Mine was the official list. All these other ones, I can't. Rooster or Goose? Where was Goose?
Goose is 7.
Oh, Payback number 4, really?
Coming from the guy who put Sundown at 2.
Sundown is a great name. You guys are crazy. Sundown is awesome. Guys, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. We didn't get a chance to talk about what we've been playing or watching, but I have so much to say. I can't wait to talk about it next week, and it's perfect. So would anyone like to go first for the best food? Chipotle Bear, you go, and then I'll go, and then close it up with Bubble Boy. Go ahead, Chipo.
Love it. So I get to kick off mine. I am so happy to say
Popeyes.
I literally went twice this week. So literally, no joke. I know. So I went.
He's addicted, folks.
I was doing training. I had to drive past the one on Jewel that's open now on my way to my training, and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect. I'm gonna get some Popeyes chicken." It was delicious. And I loved every second of it. I was on my way to a CHASA meeting at Empower Field. And then yesterday, my secretary was like, "Did you guys know that Popeyes opened?" And I was like, "Yeah, Pam, it's amazing. Like, absolutely love Popeyes." She's like, "I think I'm going to have to go. Do you want stuff?" And I was like, "Yes, absolutely. If you ever think you want to go, the answer for me is always yes." So I had it twice. So I got to add 2 to the count for us because
wait.
here's the thing.
I was going to say, I had to ask right away. You're not doing the 2 standard. What the hell's going on?
I did that a couple weeks ago and I got so sick. It was too much in my stomach and I loved it. It tasted good, but it was like you were saying where you're like, I'm eating it too fast. I'm not even enjoying it. I had to slow down. So what I do now that's been actually perfect for me is I get spicy chicken sandwich combo. I like the fries. I know you guys are up on them. I like them with the black and ranch. And I get a biscuit extra. Like that is the perfect amount of extra. And I love the buttery biscuit in there. Get a little bit of the honey. So that's my standard order. But I just had to put that on there. In terms of other things, my best food this week, I got Victoria to eat Taco Bell. I was so thrilled. Remember, she's not a red meat eater. So I was like, we had a long day at a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, which, oh, good God. That's not my favorite place of all time. I'll tell you that. But on the way home, I was like, I got to eat something. Can we stop at Taco Bell? She's like, no problem. And she was like, well, what do they have that I like? And I was like, everything is delicious, but they actually have right now those like crispy chicken tacos. She got one of those. She said, wow, this is actually really good. And I was like, I've been saying this for years. So that was really cool. But hands down, the best thing I ate this week was at my parents' house this Sunday. We had lasagna from Sam's Club, which sounds like nuts, but my dad did this thing where he let it thaw for like an hour before we cooked it, which is, I'm sure you're supposed to actually do that, but everyone forgets until it's time to cook dinner. And it was fantastic. God, the meat lasagna from Sam's Club, shout out to that. And then he got some breadsticks. We ate like champions until we were absolutely stuffed. So shout out to my mom and dad. That was the best food I had this week.
Very nice, Jose. Quick question. Did you get the points on your Popeyes app for all these purchases?
I got it for one of the meals. I didn't get it for the other because it was like my secretary went. I could be like, Pam, can you take my phone and get the points?
Will you just scan this for me? So guys, the best food I had this week, and huge XRT shout out to my wife, Miss Allison Wolenzik. She made from scratch and she just kind of created it herself. She didn't follow a recipe. She made this spinach and sausage and peppers ravioli. And you guys, this was the best thing, hands down. I had this. It blew me away. Imagine the zuppa toscana but in ravioli form. It was incredible. And I'm like, Allie, this is amazing. Where did you learn this? She's like, oh, I just kind of threw it together. And I'm like, you need to write down this recipe right now, because if you don't remember how to make this, I'm going to flip out.
Did she
Okay.
make handmade pasta for it? Like handmade ravioli?
No. But she store-bought the ravioli. But still, everything else she put together, right? Sorry. But anyway, it was incredible. The taste, you guys, like I said, imagine zuppa toscana in ravioli form. Delicious. So huge shout out to my wife. That was the best food I had this week. And also quick shout out, had Domino's, you guys. Hadn't had for a while. Man, it is really good. Just because we got like 5 or 6 pizzas because we met up with Allie's her sister and brother-in-law and their kids. So we got just a diverse range of pizzas. That's the best part. Like, you just can't beat it. They just offer you so much. So shout out to Domino's, also delicious. Bubble Boy, what was the best food you had?
Yeah, as long as you didn't go to Papa John's.
Not Papa John's. I don't want to go to Papa John's. You can't make me go to Papa John's.
Huge shout out to none other than your boy himself, Bubble Boy. I crushed it in the kitchen just tonight, and I have the leftover empty plate sitting right here next to me. We have beanless chili, which is used for chili dogs. And of course, when we were first having the chili dogs, Ashley was like, well, we don't need, we were at Sam's Club and we were shopping for them. She's like, we don't need 6 cans of beanless chili. I was like, yeah, we do. She's
Disagree.
like, we're just going to have I know, exactly, right? She's like, what are you going to do with all those cans of beanless chili? And so I've been making my own chili cheese and Frito wraps for like a week and a half now. Just had another one tonight. They're fantastic, hard to beat. Just plop some of that chili in there, sprinkle some cheese.
Do you add a little bit of hot sauce? Is it like a chili cheese burrito?
I mean, yeah. Of course, hot sauce
man.
is pretty much standard on everything. But it's perfect. It's wonderful. Can't beat it.
Well, gentlemen, this has been Xbox Record This, episode 66. Thank you so much for listening. Please write into us. You can follow the show at Xbox Record This across all social media. Write in. Give us a warm-up question. Claire, we missed you this week. You can follow me at Daddy Diwali across all social media and across Xbox and PlayStation. Chipotle Bear, where can people find you?
Hopefully shortly you can find me in the city of Los Santos when I start GTA 5, but I'm not quite there yet. Got a couple things I got to wrap up. But other than that, you can always find me on Instagram at Chipotle Bear or on Twitter, Chipotle_Bear. Had a couple more follows this week, couple more bots as well. But just waiting for that tipping point where people start writing in. Of course, love interacting with the fans. And I genuinely, if you're listening right now, Matt Kennedy, Claire, anybody brand new out there, your best fight scenes. I know there are some that we missed, even if you just write in one word or comments on the YouTube page. I'm sure there's lots of other great ones out there. We'd love to talk about them on the show. So that's where you can find me.
And the assistant to the co-host, Bubble Boy and 7, where can people find you?
Flying back and forth between Bolivia and Two Rock, Arizona, playing As Dusk Falls and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Very nice. As always, aviators, see you online.
See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
I can't stop eating. I eat because I'm unhappy. And I'm unhappy because I eat. It's a vicious cycle. If you'll excuse me, there's someone I have to get in touch with and forgive. Myself.
Get in my belly. Xbox Record This is a podcast created by Daniel Walenzik. You can follow him at Daddy Diwali on all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_Bear on Twitter. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. You can follow the show at Xbox Record This on all social media. If you'd like to find out more about the show, visit xboxrecordthis.com.